Seven. Good, mate. It's tomorrow, the morning, not today. So 1 o'clock. But I'm already starting off with a flyer, so I'll see if I can put it together for the rest of the show.
It's all right. It's all right. We got a good episode today. We got Victor here. We're gonna do some interview on his game, and it's gonna be an awesome episode for everyone to take a look at and listen to. And Victor, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Victor, CEO of the Evermoon. I am I'm the founder of the Evermoon projects, and yes, I have been my past experience will be like the co-founder of the multiple business in Thailand. I have been launched many of the startup and successful in Thailand before. Yeah, that is like my short brief introduction about myself.
Awesome. So you said potentially you've worked on other businesses types before. What made you decide to build a computer game, and what was the inspiration to make that move?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so like my actually like my behavior, I love to play like the mobile games since I was young. Like since I was a kid, I have been playing Dota 2, League of Legends on the PC, and even on mobile phone. There are so many games in the mobile, right? I have been playing all of those games already, like Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, Arena of Valor, and many kind of the mobile games on mobile, right? And yeah, I seen the main problems currently in the Web2 industry is that I have been bought the skin since 8 years ago, right? Since I was 15, like it is the limited skin that the game owner said that it was the limited one, and I have been kept that until since I was 15, and now I'm 23 already. And the thing is that like the price, I think that the price should going up, right? Because I have been kept it for many years, and yeah, exactly, it's not what I think. The price of that skin is going lower until it does nothing. Like it has no value for the people. Even we buy that things like for the very expensive price, but when we want to sell it, the price is nothing. There are no value of those of the heroes or those of the limited skin. Yeah, so I think this is like the kind of the main problems in the Web2 stream industry. Yeah, and I want to build a games. I see the Axie Infinity that is first coming, and since last 2 years ago when it was boom, when it was a bull market, and yeah, that is my inspirations. I see the problems and I want to solve it out.
Cool. I just want to probe into that. So you see that Web2 skins go down in value. Why do you think Web3 skins won't go down in value as well?
Yeah, probably like currently the Web3 gaming industry, right? The NFT games, it have the same problems as the Web2 industry, because most of the game owner and most of the people who want to play game, they didn't focusing on the game economy side, but they just focus that how many reward that they can let the user earning. And there is and the way that we want to solve it out is like we built the new game economy that it should be work in the Web3 flow gaming industry. Like we do is as season NFT, like everything will be the limited supply, and yeah, like the it's we built at the NFT as the asset owner, right? And yeah, you can just separate it out as the one things that you want to sell in the marketplace. But in the Web2 gaming industry, you can do like do like that. You have to sell your whole account, like, and that will be the junk thing that the player doesn't want to buy from you. So that is the problems why the price will be going lower and lower in the Web2 gaming industry, even there are demand to buy.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that idea. But even with scarcity, I find that typically the community comes up with which ones are most most wanted. I think sometimes we see that, hey, there's only 8 or 9 of these skins available in game, but they're not the most wanted, right? And I think sometimes artificial scarcity sometimes has a problem there. And there goes my dogs again. Welcome to Kobe and Colt to the show. Thanks, folks.
I can see where you come from as well. Although Dota does, and you said you play Dota, and Dota does enable trading of individual skins, but some of those skins do have higher value. But you don't know how many there are. You don't know, so there's no real understanding of the value. Where blockchain solves the problem of the number exactly of how many there are. It's verifiably provable by yourself. No, it's not possible for someone to inflate the numbers if if the system's designed not to do that. So where Dota skins, and also on top of that, you can't sell it for real money. It can only be for Steam bucks to buy more games. So not legally. Right. So
yes.
No, it's interesting. So why MOBA? You said you played them. I actually played. Obviously, I'm Rubik. I played a lot of Dota in my life. I love MOBAs. I think Dota's the best game ever made. Not my favorite game, but the best game ever made. It's just it's phenomenal. Why did you choose a MOBA, and what influences are you taking to build your MOBA game?
As I mentioned, right? I have been playing many kinds of mobile games before. I'm like the MOBA that I tried out. Like every mobile game is not just stick with one game, right? But yeah, there are still like one game that I stick with. Anyway, and I want to build mobile games similar to League of Legends or Arena of Valor because I like the mechanic of the games. Imagine you playing Dota 2, right? The main mechanics would be the main game design would be you have to farm all the match, and the games would be took so long, maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour, right? And the most important thing of the mobile game of the Dota 2 is that you have to see the maps and make a strategy that how you gonna farms and many kind of thing. Main thing is it's not include the skill play. If you play League of Legends or Arena of Valor or Mobile Legends Bang Bang, the main mechanic of there are similar to Dota 2, right? Yes, but they include the mechanic of the RPG, Final Fantasy, something else. The user or the players will interact with their heroes all the times. If you skill play, you guys can use the skill play to kill the heroes since you are level 1, but in the Dota 2 you cannot do that. This is the thing that I see.
Okay,
awesome. So with your game, what do you see as the main core game loop for obviously being a MOBA, but go into a little bit about the gameplay itself?
Yes, I honestly would say that a core game loop of the main mechanic game would be the same as the MOBA 5vs5 Trillions. It is just to farming for the EXP and gold in the game and then destroy the enemy turret. You don't have to kill the enemy hero to win because the way to win is to destroy the enemy base turret. That is the core game loop of the MOBA. And the other thing is just the additional things that they include to make the game fun.
Yeah, I like that too, and that's something that's always been interesting to me for MOBAs is it's not all about kill death ratios. It's not all about those quick snipes where you're getting a kill on the other team. It's about successfully maintaining map control and lane control, and doing those little side quests to maintain control. Whether it be with small armies or minions or goblins that go down each lane that help take out the other tower defense, and that's always one of my favorite parts too. Is I enjoy fighting those little hordes on the side. I always try to find one of the heroes that can solo those groups so that I can kind of go and do my own thing, but what is long term? What's the vision for the game? Where do you see it long term?
Like the whole gaming industry, right?
No, just your game.
Oh, just our games. Okay. Like honestly, I just like I just dream too big first, and then yeah, just trying to do it, and then yeah, just let it be that how it will be. Yeah, but I try to be like the biggest dream as my life. We aiming to be like the one that disruption the whole gaming industry, because like we seen that yeah, in the past, like we have web 1, web 2, and web 3 games, right? In the past, first thing coming with web 1, the game economy will be like buying CD, buying the games, and then you can play the whole games like just for like $10 or $20, right? And then the web 2 gaming industry, like Riot is the leading this web 2 gaming industry. Like they just let everyone buying the games for free and then using the top up model. And at first, at the beginning, everyone laughing at him and think that okay, Riot would going to bankrupt anyway because this model doesn't gonna work because there are no one do it before. But yeah, exactly like today, Riot prove that they think right, and everyone's copy their models, and then yeah, it's just like the main web 2 gaming industry like right now model. And then yeah, currently we are web doing in the era of web 3 gaming industry, right? We have our own model that like the big company cannot copy it, and the big company cannot do it because it will affect the whole company structure. And yeah, that's why like we think that the technologies would disruption like the whole all things technology.
Okay, I did want to ask him like a bit more about the influence of the game as well. Like I can notice that like the graphics and the gameplay seems very influenced by Mobile Legends. Is that and a mix of League of Legends and like Mobile Legends? Is that what you're going for with the style of play and the style of graphics?
Yeah, like our graphics will be like it's called semi-real. It's the stylized version of the League of Legends, and then plus the realistic version of the Dota 2, and it's we call as semi-realistic. Like the environment will be realistic, and then the character will be stylized. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Hold on real quick. Who's doing the art for this? I'm looking at some of the pictures right now, and I'm kind of blown away with how good this is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like currently, like at the past before, we didn't put like many of the budget into the art yet. Like in the alpha versions and all characters, like all design character, we didn't even have like any of the splash art, and the UI didn't seems to be good enough like to have a competition with the big games. But currently, we developments everything's like we put the whole many of the budget in the art already because our game is like smooth and everything is fine already. So we put the budget in the art, and currently we are building the splash art, and yeah, everything's new to be cool, like the maps, everything's. And yeah, we do it by our in-house studio
Awesome.
development, like yeah, Evermoon, and also like we hire some of the outsourcing in Thailand because like yeah, honestly like many of the people in Thailand, the production term is very great, and the price is very cheap comparing like to the foreign country, because Thailand is Southeast Asia country and low wage people. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the team? Sorry, I just want to go to the team a bit. What's the experience of the team like of building? Like you said, you're new to building games, but what's the lead designer, lead developer, lead? Have they got experience building games before?
Sure. Our team have been formed with like many experienced big studio in Thailand. I think it should be like worldwide a little bit, but not sure that you guys recognize this or not. Like it should be like our game developer lead would come from Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is the biggest company, biggest game studio in Thailand. Like they have been done doing the multiplayer games called Home Sweet Home Survive, and yes, currently they are working with us because we are friends before, and then they're coming to help us. And like our art team forming by like from it's not directly from the Riot Games, but they have experience like to work with Riot Game before, not in terms of the employees, but in terms of the outsourcings, and they're coming like to help us. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I know that Riot Games actually does outsource quite a lot of their work.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the quality of the artwork is similar, like the quality of the artwork and the quality of the game is like similar too, right? But yeah, exactly, like they cannot choose the name because they are not like the employee of those company, but they just like got outsourcing from those company.
Right.
Mm.
So
my last question
go ahead.
on my last question on the actual game is
Okay.
why 5? Is it 5 versus 5 or 3 versus? Because all mobile games are the one I've seen the most is 3 versus 3, and you've gone with 5 versus 5. Is that correct?
Correct. We have 3 modes. We're planning to open 3 modes in the future. At first, we opened only 5 versus 5, and then we released the 1 versus 1. Like 5 versus 5 will take like 15 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes to end the match because it's on mobile, right? If you have like the match too long, the battery will go out. And yeah, we will. And after that, we will release like 1 versus 1. Because 1 versus 1 will end in 5 to 8 minutes. And then after that, we if the player is like too much, like too high, like MA monthly active player is so much, so we expand to build 3 versus 3 later.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna go into a little bit about how the game development right now is progressing. As far as do you have a playable demo? How's the game development coming?
Yes, sure. Currently we have been done the alpha version of the game already. The alpha versions, I think many of people already seen it, like on YouTube or already tried it already because we have released it in the public version before. And yes, currently we are building the beta version since last year on December, and currently we're still working on it. We expect that the whole game of the beta would be finished in we probably be finished in the end of the October, and we will release in the private version of the VIP member of the Evermoon, like the organics member communities, and like our key partners will let us like try it first in the private version. The beta version will be very cool, and the maps art element design, I think you will think that like this kind of game is not Web3 game, it's not NFT game. The quality is just like similar to the normal games, and the experience will be the same as the Web2 games also. And yes, after we release we're planning to release the beta phase 1 in the Q1 next year, and Q2 next year will be beta phase 2, and then after that, like in the Q3, we're planning to soft launch the game first for 3 months. And if the soft launch is fine, it's okay, we're going to release the official version in the Q4. Soft launch and official is the same, but soft launch version is just like not promoting too much to check the cost and the scale up. That okay, how many of the players playing our games and how was the cost of the server. We already calculated that, but we still don't know when once we launch the game, how much the launch and everything's. Yep. And yeah, the fully promote will be Q4 next year.
Awesome.
Okay. You're going to be partnered with Google, is that correct? On technology?
Yes. Yeah. Just to clarify this, like at first we planning to go with the Google, but after we seeing like the calculated the cost and the support and many part of thing in terms of the game server side, we expect we currently we are going to with the AWS team first, because we haven't officially partnered with the AWS team yet, but currently we are working closely with the AWS team weekly, because we just like working directly with them on the head office of Thailand. And yeah, if there are any of the technical questions or any issues, they are willing like to support us like more than Google. So that's why we moved to the AWS team.
Oh, that's new. Alpha. That's news to me.
Yeah, right.
Let's see here. So in terms of so that's one of the partnerships a little bit out of the way, I guess. It looks like you're gonna go with AWS. Why did you choose to partner with Immutable?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of benefits that we going with Immutable teams, because before we choose the Immutable, many of the chain contact us to going with them, like so many, but I think I can mention those of name because it would affect a little bit. And yes, like immutable chain is like, I think it was like the best technologies for the Web3 games, because like they fix many of the pain point of the Web3 game, like zero gas fee, when you mint things, and fast transactions, and the key thing is that they have like immutable wallets. And yeah, once it's released officially, I think like many one will be like, wow, how is this technology is coming out?
Yeah. So it is confirmed that you are developing with the passport, right?
Correct.
Yep. Awesome. That's good news. I really like that direction. It allows seamless transition between all devices and things like that with just your email, and I really like that.
Yeah, our currently we working directly with immutable tech teams, right? And we are going to integrate like the immutable passport into our games. Like imagine you playing games on a mobile, and when you want to do any transaction, you have to open PC, right? In the past, but currently, like if you use like immutable passport, you can do everything. It just end to end in just like one application, in just like our games. You can trade like the NFT in our game applications, in Evermoon marketplace, and you can be like using any of the DeFi features that we have in the Evermoon applications. That is like our vision, and we will do definitely, because we have immutable passport.
Yeah, that actually ties into another question I had for you about, you signed up to use StarkX, I believe, when you first announced joining. Immutable Passport is going to launch on zkEVM only at first. So do you have a time frame of when it'll be available for the StarkX implementation, or have you pivoted to zkEVM?
Yes, like the StarkX versions will be available I'm not sure that is this like allowed to say the timeline.
Yeah,
or not. But anyway, like immutable technical team say that there will be like the immutable passport StarkX versions like this year, or I just can say that it's available like in this year, and there will be like a Unity SDK integration, and yeah, our game is developed by using Unity engine, so that is very easy like to integrate like the whole immutable passport to use.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I don't want to put you on the spot like that, mate. Sorry. It's just good to know that it's confirmed that it's definitely coming for StarkX, because it like there hasn't been a real clear indication of it. They've always said it will, but to actually have to know that games have been given a date, just that alone is, even though it's not a concrete date, it's a date. That meaning that there's a aim for when it'll come out, even if you're not allowed to share that. Us knowing that there is you guys have a StarkX date is exciting for that that the product's coming for that as well pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's huge news.
Yeah.
So without breaking the rules, mate.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Sorry, what were you gonna say? Something?
Oh, just want to say that the players doesn't care about there will be like Web2 players, like they didn't care about they will it will be on StarkX, or there will be MetaMask, or there will be like zkEVM, because like the thing that they will just care about is just like they're just a game, and how much to reduce like the fee or the money that they would pay like as much as possible. So that is the reason why we're going with the StarkX.
Yeah, and then honestly, I think the reason they don't care is because the ability for the game to hide it and make it the experience seamless. So that's a big point. Is they don't care if they don't have to know how it works, because it just works for them. But if it becomes a pain point where they have to, hey, I'm playing on my mobile phone, and then I want to go and trade this NFT for a different one. Oh, I got to go to my PC where my MetaMask is, or whatever. And that becomes something that the user will eventually learn and know, and be like, hey, this is a pain in the ass. Let's move to something else. But the ability to do this, to streamline all of the development, so that all of the features, all of the use cases are covered within this one implementation, is huge.
Yes, correct.
being a MOBA player, like it's going to be, if you put that barrier of entry up front about having to learn blockchain to play the game, or even just to trade a skin, when they haven't bought into it yet. Like, it takes 50 games of the simplest MOBA before you're even starting to understand the game. It's a huge learning curve. There's so much complexity to them. They look like simple games, but they're very complex. You've got to understand every character, what they can do to you, what your character can do to them, and to learn that just takes a long time. It's only once you've got the hook of enjoying the game and deciding to play long term is when those NFTs will matter to people. So if you put those barriers in front of them in any way, shape, or form before that they've got that hook, you're going to lose them, in my opinion. And so the passport, your vision of what you've described so far is perfect. Web2 gamers, get them into the game. When they start loving it, easy system to just convert that stuff into NFTs and start to join the NFT side of aspect of the game as well.
Yeah, because like from the first inspirations and first visions of our game, we expecting like to do the things that similar to immutable wallet, not immutable wallet, immutable passport, like by ourselves. But yeah, honestly, like it's very hard. Like it is like the new technologies, and it's similar like to we have to build our own chain, and yeah, that is like so impossible. So and then we after that we have been talked with immutable, and yeah, the immutable said that they have like the immutable passport and then show us. So that is the reason why we just like definitely going with immutable teams.
Yeah, I bet that was a saving grace. You're like, okay, you just get off the call, you get off the call with the team, and you're like, shit, how are we gonna make a wallet? And then next thing you know, Immutable comes over, and they're like, hey, we have we have this passport for you.
Yeah, like if we have to build like all of the things by ourselves, like maybe it will take like 4 to 5 years to finish the developments because it's include the games already.
So on that note, like, what's it been like kind of working with Immutable so far? What are some of the good things? What are some of the pain points so far?
Okay, right. Like working with immutable teams, or like the thing that we face in the immutable chain.
The team, yeah.
Oh, the team, right? I think like I have no in terms of the good things, I think that they are good. Like they have like mainly two teams like to support us. They have like the business development team, include like the marketing teams, and the second team would be like the technical teams. Like if we have a call with them bi-weekly, like we updating to get each other like how much like our progress, like Evermoon progress, and how much like the immutable passport or the technology that the immutable will put like updated like bi-weekly. And yeah, the good thing is that like the immutable is like very supportive like of the games. Like imagine if you like going to the other chain, like the big chain already, I think they wouldn't be like even they have like the big audience and they have like a lot of resource, like they didn't like be supportive as immutable. Immutable is like not everyone's can coming to direct build on an immutable. Like you have to be like the selection one that immutable select, and immutable is very selective. They just select like the games that they see that they are potential ahead. So yeah, like every game, I think I trust that like every games that they select, like they will be taking good care of every games, like the Evermoon game that they take care of. And the bad things, I'm not sure that there will be the bad thing on us because I didn't see any of the bad things that I work with the immutable teams.
We're struggling to get people to say bad things about Immutable.
I know, like we got to start planting some like bad things. I don't know.
It makes sense. Just playing the diplomatic role, so it's very smart to to not say anything, because everything can be improved, and we
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
It's true. It's true. I didn't see any bad things working with the immutable team yet.
All right, cool. And so we talked about the tech tools, using StarkX, using Passport, using Unity SDKs. Is there anything else, any other tools that you haven't mentioned from blockchain or from Immutable that you're using, or is that pretty much it so far?
Yeah, I'm interested in to use like many parts like of the technology in Immutable, but currently like I think the most efficient one that is we gonna like some is officially released already and some is just released is like there are only like Immutable Passport and the Star Egg. But anyway, like Immutable teams have yeah I think this one is just like not the public version that they gonna release, but that they release like for their like developers on their chain and I received one like there will be so many tools in the future like
Mm.
like like so many example like there will be like the tools that you guys can like just add NFT into the marketplace by very friendly UI. You can just like type the name, add the picture, add the description, and then add like the detail of something like ERC something blah blah blah, and then yeah that's all, and then you can just upload it those of the NFT into the immutable marketplace and yeah that and also like when the players coming to play the games how much is like the DAU MAU of your games. Yeah, there are so many of them like of the developer tools that Immutable gonna like develop in the futures, and there are just like there are some of the prototypes that we have been try already, like the prototype of the UI that we have been seeing already, and but it doesn't like release the official version yet, and it's not ready like to use efficiently. So like in the future we sure it will use it, but currently it's not available yet.
So much coming to the front.
Yeah. In terms of the NFTs, do you currently have NFTs available for the game that are not on IMX? Or are they on IMX? What's the case there?
No, like all of our NFT will be on the Immutable marketplace.
Okay, so you have not done a mint yet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, correct. We haven't releasing any of the NFT yet currently.
That's good. Because so many of the games in the ecosystem do their mint like 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years ahead of time.
Understandable. I probably would say that the best for the gamer or the community would be release once the game is ready to launch or the courses that they want to launch, because like maybe like launching the NFT or the launching of the tokens when the when your game is like too far like from launching would be like the would be fundraising like for the project owner. Like if the project owner really need the fund to developments, I think probably everyone would do that. But yeah, if the company still has cash flow, or still have like enough funding like to development the games, yep, you can postpone like your IDO or your INO and launch once the game is ready. So that will be like very fair for the players, and yep, it will be good benefit for the player.
Yeah, I like that approach a lot.
So you're not going to do a mint before the game's released, or like the funding to get the project delivered is there at the moment?
We are doing for minting. It's called zkEVMGalaxy, but zkEVMGalaxy is not it's not like it's not paying the money to mint, but it is the free minting event, like for the community VIP member or the community that they did a task.
Cool.
So,
yeah, I think that's underway shortly, isn't it? Or has it been underway recently?
Yeah.
The program for that. So people should get onto the Discord now and start joining in to get part of that journey to be on the free mint.
Yeah, I need to get in there to get a VIP role here so I can be part of the free mint. That's
yeah,
for sure.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, because by the way, because like if the games projects or the project's owner like did the INO when before game launching like for a year or for a couple of months, the NFT that the players or the holder that's coming at first like to let the project's owner grab the money should be like very valuable. Like we see like our circuit base, right? We have like a 3,000 of the unique NFT skin that the players can randomly mint, and everyone wouldn't get the same NFT because it's all unique design. Like everything's built by 1v1 at 3,000 of them, and yeah, and they can just mint it for free. And if they like, those of 3,000 unique NFT skin can be used to playable in the games. It is the skin that is the RGB color, and yeah, that's mean like it should give like a lot of benefit for the holder, like to just like towards the holder that's spending their money before they have the games.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like it a lot.
Is any of the NFTs going to give power to players, or is it purely a skin benefit, visual, like as in-game power? Like, is it an advantage by holding a skin, or is it purely about the visual?
Yeah, our game is similar like to the logic is similar like to the normal web 2 games. Like there will be the runes, hero skin, item, use one time item, the tickets. Yeah, many part of everything's in our games. Every item is NFT. Yeah, right.
Oh wow, that's really
yeah. That is the key. That if you want to like be the Web3 games and the new era of the games, yeah, it's everything should be NFT. If we do like this NFT, this is not NFT. I think it's the same as Design Arena.
Okay. Well, that's for me. I've that's pretty thorough. I've got a really good, a lot more understanding of Evermoon than I had before.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thanks. Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to add to?
I'm just scrolling. I'm scrolling through the Evermoon page right now, and I'm looking for one item. So the runes. You were talking about the runes. Runes can enhance initial status of a hero, improving their abilities and performance. So as you were saying, the actual NFTs, the rune itself gives enhanced player ability in game. So that's something that I didn't understand immediately, which is very interesting. Like you were just saying, Rubik, players can upgrade runes to higher levels through synthesis and building challenges. And you can acquire runes through being a winner, or weekly loot boxes, or just simply synthesis, like creating them by possibly burning other items. Is that?
Yes, correct. Like we have the runes, and we built everything as the NFT item because we think the logic like this. Our games has two tokens, right? We have Evermoon token as the governance token, and Everstone as the reward token, right? Like imagine like the players coming to play our games and they got Everstone, and Everstone have no use case rather than Evermoon token. What is the value of the Everstone, right? It would be similar to actually that, okay, the price of the Everstone will definitely go down anyway. So we have to do like the things that you should have, like the things that can be obtained by playing the games only, like runes, Everstone. Yeah, and you have to have like other things that they can gain by top up the money or buying by using the money. Like runes cannot be found by top up our games. Like you cannot use Evermoon token directly buy like from us, because rune cannot be generated from the game owner, but the rune will be generated by you playing the match, and you will got like the reward randomly. And you can use like you can enchant the runes by using the synthesis or the building challenge, and the synthesis and building challenge use the Everstone token to enchant the rune, right? Yeah, so that is the value of the Everstone and the runes. Because like if imagine like there were rich player and there were poor player. Like rich player will be like buying the runes in the marketplace like from the poor player. That's it.
Got it. Makes sense. Very cool.
Different.
I was just looking through like the capsules as well. It looks like you have the heroes and skin capsules will be pegged at a price between $10 to $50, depending on the level. However, it's important to note that the contents of each capsule are randomized, so the actual value of the items inside vary.
And the thing is, we do it as like the season NFT. like we know that if we pick the price, right, and we do it as the limited supply, the problems that will coming out will be like the price. Imagine like we have the limited supply of 1,000 capsules, but the players have like over 100,000 players. The price will be going up too high, right, 100x, and that will cause a lot of problems because like there are lack of the players coming to play games because mobile game need a lot of players to play to find the matchmaking. This one is the first problem, right? And if we fix by doing pick the price and do it as the unlimited supply, the price will be going down until like until the bottom of something because like you can find at the pick price of a game owner like 10 USD. When you sell it, you have to sell lesser than 10 USD because if you sell higher than 10 USD or 10 USD, no one gonna buy it. So we do it to do it as like season NFT. Like imagine like season 1, we coming as the hero number 1 to number 10, right? And yeah, those of hero number 1, number 10 can be randomized, like getting by buying our capsule at the pick price as many as you want. It's called unlimited mint. And then after that, like season 1, ending in 3 quarter, in 1 quarter, right? 3 months. After 3 months, we will cut of things that mean in the season 1 as the limited supply, and then season 2 coming with the new heroes and new skin season.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a lot like what Fortnite did with like their skins and things like that. And there's certain skins that are much more valuable because or sought after because they were only in the first season and whatnot. So I like that idea.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. Well, anything we missed here, Rubik?
Yeah, I know it's pretty full coverage. Unless Victor would like to add something else that we haven't covered.
You got anything for us, Victor?
Yeah, just for the players. Like I think many of the players still waiting to play like the NFT games, but currently there are just like lack of the quality Web3 games that they can play every day without boring. And yeah, like because if the key of the if the point of the players coming to play the game with fun, they are willing to spend money on it. But if the point of players just to play with like want to earn money from the game, I think like once they can't earn like anything from the game, they will just stop playing it.
Exactly. I found that very, very true. A lot of the games that are playable now, some of which had that giant monetary reward behind it, and once the players realize that, hey, I can't do this every day, or I don't have the funds to keep up with the other people that it requires to stay up at that high earning level, it becomes not as fun, and they just don't show up the next day. So allowing gamers to play because of the gameplay rather than a monetary incentive is a huge step.
Yes.
I think this subject of player motivation and how monetary gain is going to affect that is still very unchallenged. There's not many games that have built a stable economy that also has any amount of lucrative return. So like Axie Infinity wasn't stable. I played that game. It was unstable. It was obvious it was going to crash eventually. Unless they brought in heaps and heaps of content, which they weren't going to do. So when a person plays a game because of the fun, then all of a sudden their time can be turned into $100 a day rather than $5, and does their motivation change? Does the reason they play change? And then does that create a Ponzi-like system rather than where they start to extract rather than just re-put it back in? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Web3 games can balance that economy. And it sounds like you guys have got something different, and hopefully that can be the game that cracks that model that works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, like because like when you want to buy the things like the items in our store or trade in the marketplace, you have to using the Evermoon token to top up, like using Evermoon token to buy, right? And yeah, the thing is that like when we charge like the players, we just charge them with like the credit card payment methods, some things. And yeah, after we will have like the revenue of the company, we will use those of the 80% of the revenue company to buy back like the Evermoon tokens. That means like we can get like the buying demand like from the Web2 players, and then we using those of the money to buy back like in the Web3 markets. And yeah, exactly like currently like nowadays there are over like 525 million USD proceeding like just in only like the mobile market only. Yeah, and yes, like mostly of the mobile players like have like the monthly active players at like 1 million people's like monthly active player. Like it's just like a game that is not famous on the mobile, but if that game was famous, there will be like 80 MAU. Or League of Legends will be like League of Legends value will be like 150 MAU like monthly. And yeah, like each of the players spend monthly like average cost would be like 1.675 USD. There will be like the huge, yeah, there will be like very huge like to subsidize like the price.
Absolutely, and that's how little it takes, right? It just takes a $1 or $2 per player. As long as like you said, the player base is large enough and the game is fun, you can have these players come back daily and play.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
Well,
Victor, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and give us some insight, some alpha, give us some excitement for when the Stark X might be coming. It's great to know that it is still on the menu. So I really do appreciate it.
How do we send people to your communities, Victor?
Yeah, how do they find you, Victor? Where do they go?
Yeah, like you can just like Discord or Telegram both fine. Like I'm always like online there. Like if anyone want to text me, you guys can just like tag me in the group of the Discord of Evermoons or like Telegram group chats. I will definitely like answer like everyone that's tagged me in the groups.
Awesome. And then
all right,
the site here, I just had it up. Let me it is Evermoon.games.
Yes,
that's correct. And then there's a like a wiki page as well, EvermoonERC.com. It looked like, unless that's wrong, unless I was reading the wrong information.
Like
no, that was wrong. No, so it is just Evermoon.games, right?
Yeah, correct. Like
Awesome.
be careful of the scams because we haven't like raised any money from anyone yet.
Yep. So the actual document I was looking at was docs.evermoon.games. So you can go there and read the white paper and everything like that. So awesome. Well, thank you again, Victor, for coming on, and we're definitely going to have you come back once we're closer to launch and see how things are going.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me today. It was a pleasure like to have like a call with you guys today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Take care now. Awesome. So I just wanted to say thanks again to Victor for coming on from Evermoon and talking about the game. What are your initial thoughts on the MOBA from Evermoon?
It's I'm very biasedly by that he's going to take inspiration from Dota, and he was a Dota player as well as a League player. I've never heard, to be honest with you, of many people that do play both games. So that looks a lot like League, but he said the play is going to be more like Dota. So that's good to me. Personally, I find the movement and the extra challenging of Dota that more enjoyable. Personally, so for me personally, I'm going to be happy to give the game a go. 5v5 in a mobile. Be interesting to see how that goes. Like I've played like 4 mobile and MOBAs, and they're all 3v3. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
That's something I kind of hooked on to as well, is the 5v5 for a mobile MOBA. Pretty action packed. I think that's what I'm excited about is there being a lot of action, and the the ability for some quick gameplay, as well as it was interesting to see that as well. There was a factor of pay to play with certain abilities or power ups based off of purchasable in-game items. So that's something I haven't been fond of, but I mean, again, if it's implemented in a way to where the top players or basically the rich players are winning, aren't winning all the time, to where there's a chance for the smaller players to do something through skill or do something through winning enough to where they can win those items as well, to where they're not only purchasable. That's yet to be seen. And
true hardcore gamers will hate that, and it's more of a tendency of the West to dislike that pay to win sort of model. But the rest of the world don't seem to care, and there's a lot of casual gamers that don't have time to grind higher level things in that, and they prefer just to pay to get to the top and play the game at the top level, like in MMOs and all other games. So, biasly, I don't like pay to win as well, but the Asian market absolutely doesn't care. They don't unless it's like what you say, it's completely someone with a lot of money can win no matter what. Then they don't like that. But just a few purchases here to boost up, and that they won't worry about that, and still has a chance to have a lot of success.
Yeah,
not so much in the web.
No, I see that. So, I mean, we're still speculating on what it is. So I'm excited to see how they implement it and what they do with it all. It's all really exciting, especially coming to IMX, and excited to see what's to come for them.
Yeah, I'll give them a go for sure. And mobile is starting to be something I'm playing more of. As a PC gamer for all my life, but yeah, I'm starting to play a few more mobile games because you can sit on the couch and just chill out lie down, and play.
Yeah.
Sometimes so more and more games are moving to mobile, so I'll give it a go.
For sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how's your weekend going this weekend? Is it
Yeah, just relaxing. Kids are out of town still, so my wife and I went to dinner last night. It was nice. But
I saw some pictures of that.
Yeah, it's weird without the kids, so we'll see.
All right.
Oh man.
VeveVerse. I want to talk about VeveVerse. There's a big news about that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So they've copped a lot of flack from there's a polarizing community sentiment. There's people that are all in on Vive. They've sold millions and millions of NFTs. It's a funny system. The way they use IMX is StarkX system. It's very different, and I got confirmation from the inside IMX team that the way they did that is still compensated to the people that invest in the token. So it's it's not exactly how you'd expect, where it's like an open marketplace. You can't see VV NFTs on the IMX marketplace, but they are still using IMX apparently. So that was quite interesting. I only found that out just recently. But also, there's been lots of FUD about that. This is never going to come. Their whole vision's not going to be seen. It's just this is what they're ever going to do. So to hit out of the blue to me, this announcement that their metaverse is in beta. So and they've got players already in it playing it, testing it for them. So that was just a couple of days ago. It's ready. It's so the FUD can end.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this kind of moment, I guess. With Vivi, the backing it has and the potential for a big community is there. So I feel that Vivi itself, with just the digital collectibles, the community was fragmented. I feel there's certain I think there was certain community that just goes to the app only and only interacts there and doesn't necessarily go onto Twitter or isn't very active on Discord. And I kind of find that to be true because there is a large active community there. But I didn't really hear much other than just the VV token maxis on crypto Twitter, you know? And
oh yeah, there's did you see that like recently the threads about insider trading and stuff?
Yeah, so there was stuff about that. And you know,
Paul Barron rips into him as well. He's that idiot.
Yeah,
he likes to rip into IMX projects and IMX, and that's how I found out about VV. Listen to him rat on them on his rubbish TV show. Yeah, but if anyone doesn't know what VV is, there's 600,000 holders. It's not small.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It is definitely not a small thing.
I'm in the NFTs. I don't know about the token. I don't care about tokens. You know that.
I only have some of the token from sales that I did, and that was just because I wanted to have some of the token, and I sold a couple items, but that's about it.
Yeah, so it's like Disney IP, isn't it? It's like, is it go outside of Disney, or is it just Disney?
I would say it's Disney, and it's like subsidiaries, right? So there's some stuff that is in there as well. That's like the comic book stuff. That wouldn't necessarily be directly under the Disney umbrella, but it's subsidiaries. You know that Disney's branches grow over everything, basically. You know, so they have stuff from like the Tarzan comic books early on. You know, they have some of the Pixar stuff, right? So that's still Disney now, you know, and if you just look at the different branches, the different fingers of Disney and anything basically from Marvel comic universe as well is there too. They also have like the Back to the Future franchise and everything like that as well. So there's a lot to be had there. I have one of the drivable AR DeLoreans that they released there. Those are pretty cool. So it's pretty cool because you can drive the thing too, and the doors and everything are all interactive too. So you can like touch open up the doors on it and everything. I thought they did a really good job with that.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's got like awesome IP. It's got all the Disney, Marvel characters, all things like that. It touches so much. And they've got 652,000 unique owners of and nearly 10 million NFTs have been minted so far. You know, it's not anything small, but it's not searchable on the blockchain like individually. Right. At the moment, that's probably why it doesn't get as much credit for, you know, all these people talking about how many users they've got and all this stuff. You know, Immutable doesn't focus on that rubbish. So it's, you know, it does sometimes, but not on, you know, like it doesn't make that the focus. It makes the quality of the product the focus. And so, yeah, I've never been involved with VV. I don't own anything. I'm independent of it. I don't, you know me, I like games. But when I saw that showroom and a little bit of a clip of it, it's going to make those people that have been collecting them pretty happy because it looks sick, you know, and you can like create your little showroom and have 3D images of all your characters and NFTs on display for people, I assume, to come and watch it to see. You can make it open so people can go and see your showroom and what you've got.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think.
I noticed that like in the app they have a showroom as well. Like you can put your stuff on display in the app but to have something that others can come and see and interact with and walk kind of walk around and that's something that is going to be huge as well. And one of the things that I liked about I do like about Vivi is they really don't really ever say the word NFTs. They just say digital collectibles, and that's something that's been a big thing for me. I think a lot of people don't know what the hell an NFT is, nor do they care. And as soon as you get those 3 letters out of your mouth, you've lost a lot of people. So to bring 600,000 accounts, on to NFTs without telling them, hey, it's NFTs, just going with what your audience already knows, and your audience, the Disney audience definitely already knows collecting stuff. So
and knows Spider-Man
exactly, and they know Spider-Man, and they know and they know these items, So good on the team for doing that and how they've rolled it out.
Yeah, well, I kind of have a bit of regret now that I didn't get involved in it, because I would have, maybe I can get involved now.
And there honestly is there's no time to get involved. I feel, because the way I've seen them roll them out is there's ample time of new releases, and then they've come up with a system for some of this queuing and stuff, and who gets what, to try to make it fair. So I like what they did there.
Cool.
Yeah. Next thing's up, Undead Metaverse. They made some announcements recently.
Yeah, well, I already had clarified with them that they are building on IMX, and they said to me, "Come back in July if you haven't heard from us," because I was in, doing research and just saying, I want to make sure you guys are on Immutable if I'm going to, because it's on my ecosystem map that I create. And I don't know how I found out about them being on it, but I had a lead, and then I spoke to them, and they acted kind of funny, as if they hadn't announced it yet. Now, in hindsight, now that they've announced it, so somehow that might have leaked somehow, and but it's actually, I thought it's not zkEVM, I don't think, because it's gas free.
Gotcha.
So, and maybe they're not going to utilize the gas, the zkEVM system for that reason. So it's probably a StarkX implementation, which is good. It's Vivi uses StarkX, and it doesn't need to use. Users don't need to know about blockchain, because
right, exactly.
You have to have tokens to pay for gas.
Correct.
So it'll be interesting to see. We just thought make this one a quick one, but yeah, it's official. They definitely are in it. We already knew about it, but it's just good to know that officially they've announced it. And I looked at the screenshots of their in-game play. I think it's up there with the best graphics in any Web3 game I've seen. Up there.
Really?
Yeah, it's crisp as really almost realistic stuff sometimes. It's not that good, but it's on par with Star Atlas, with Space Nation, and any of those big graphic ones that we've got in Web3.
Awesome.
Better than Metalcore, I'd say. And yeah, so. It'd be interesting to see how. I haven't seen the gameplay footage. I've just seen screenshots.
Right.
So seeing them in gameplay, if that would be.
That's the real test, right? So, sometimes the screenshots they can touch up, and there might be certain renders that they release that make it look amazing. So,
who would make images look fake in marketing, mate? Eh?
Exactly. I saw that Galaxy Commanders, they released a gameplay, some footage there that looks exciting. Massive battles in space.
Yeah, it's it wasn't like that. I thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be you're going to be in a ship and you're going to like a master ship, maybe first person view, and selecting the screen to send rockets there, send fleet there. But it's actually top down, like strategy style game. So I've got me and my strategy games. It's it'll be building your deck sort of thing, like building your fleet and armada and weapons and items and defense systems and stuff like that, and then 1v1 battles to achieve your goals. So yeah, I got really excited after I saw that because it's very different to Space Nation because they both got announced in the same couple of days.
Yeah,
Space Station is that 3D MMO experience. Star Atlas is better, and this one's very different. It's a lot more like I don't even know what it's like.
Yeah, I would imagine it's something almost like StarCraft esque, and
yeah,
it's something that I'm interested to see how they do like the PvP battles and stuff. So there's going to be a lot more that I think it created more questions for me, but it does look like it's pretty cool, like exciting gameplay, and
it sounds perfect for mobile.
Exactly.
They say I did some research just before the show, and it is going to be on mobile. They don't know when. It's definitely on PC first, just to get it out the door.
Right.
But it's going to come to mobile, but it'd be just like 3-minute games. Like you can see that it's not going to be something like you sit there for 4 hours and try and like an MMO. It's the opposite of Space Nation. It's just on the toilet. I've got 3 minutes. Bang, have a game. So,
but I kind of like that for targeting mobile as well. You do need something in the game loop that's shorter and doesn't take too much time with all of these games and different apps that are out. Everything's fighting for attention, and if it's something that you can do rather quickly and get a game in, I see that as a plus.
Oh yeah, and especially the plus for this generation's attention span.
Yeah, for sure.
It's smart. And did you see my little quip at his brother? Did you know?
Yeah,
this is going to be a fun fact.
I saw that.
It was only a joke. I hope you didn't take it seriously.
No, it seemed friendly enough, and passing on Twitter to where I didn't know about it. It was pretty cool.
I poked the tongue out at him just to say jokes.
Yeah.
But the creator of Galaxy Commander is the founder of Metapixel, which is a very popular game. So
yeah.
Metapixel Grand Saga. Sorry, Metapixel is the development house. But,
right.
I think they're making a huge mistake building that game on Aptos. It's not about the capability of the chain. They've got to build all the tools themselves for gaming. It's not a gaming based chain. We'll get into that. Actual next subject is Star Atlas.
Oh yeah.
One of their biggest fall downs is related to what I'm saying about why he shouldn't build on Aptos. I saw that at the start they were building wallets and all this chain stuff that does all this stuff, like pumping resources into stuff that Immutable's already built.
Yeah, and anytime anytime the game design team or a game company has to focus on infrastructure of a blockchain is not what they intended to do in building a game. You really need to go into it to where the blockchain portion of it is unseen, and anytime they're spending time perfecting tools for the foundational stuff of a blockchain, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. So yeah, and also on top of that, Aptos isn't battle tested yet. Like it's a good chain apparently. It comes from Facebook developed it and had to sell it because that was where their Libra coin was going to be. So obviously it's got good foundations and stuff like that, but it hasn't been battle tested yet, like Ethereum. And and look at Solana. He went through. It's now starting to perform after 3-4 years of being through Worlds of Pain. And
And you'll only find out once you start to battle test the chain
Right.
that uses that if it can handle that. But anyway, we'll see. I think Galaxy Commander's brother's the smart one. Is building a very simple game, but very not over complicated, but very easy to play, hard to master. I'd say it looks like
exactly
so much going on. So much going on the screen at once.
It's the big thing with these is accessibility to players, and as long as players can get their hands on it and get a couple games in, see if it's for them or not. That's the biggest thing. I don't like these games that are coming out with these massive barriers to entry where no one gets to play it, or it's being touted as the next big thing, but you have to buy something that is like 0.28 or 0.25 to get into it, and it's not reasonable.
We'll talk about that later, won't we?
Yeah, won't we? Huh?
So Star Atlas. It was related to the talking point. I want to link that about because part of what's happened is related to that. But I just wanted to say one final thing on Galaxy Commanders. I think it is my prediction. It is going to be one of the most popular Web3 games when it comes out. I think it looks perfect for mobile, perfect for quick little gameplay. Build up your army. Part of the game is building up your ships, so collecting things and making it more powerful. I think it's Asian based again, so it's that audience of people that are already open to blockchain, and I think it's going to be a massive hit.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I know that there's a lot of space themed games coming out, and you're gonna find they're not all made equal. And to take that theme and do it right, you're going to have a massive following from people all over for the people that do it right. So I'm excited to see.
So I've got a funny question before we move on to Star Atlas. You said about there's heaps of space games. There's 5 that I know of on Immutable, or 4, sorry now. There's New Ganymede's actually sci-fi based. I'm not sure if there's space in space, but it's sci-fi in the space, and they call it a space sim. There's Galaxy, there's Space Nation, there's Search for Animaria, and there's Star Heroes that went to Arbitrum. If you could choose one of those 5, 4 to stay and 1 to go, which one would you choose to go to Arbitrum? Putting you on the spot here, mate.
Yeah, honestly,
I'll do it.
Okay, so I played Animera. I like it, so I want it to stay.
Yeah.
I guess it would be. I don't know.
I'll put you on the spot here.
Yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know which one yet. I need to see more. Which one do you think?
All right. I'll 100% choose Star Heroes, and that's not being biased. I never even played it, even though it was open for me to play. I looked at it and was like, this doesn't look like my kind of game. It looks a bit...
Honestly, I would have to say that because I haven't heard enough about it. So...
okay. Between them and New Ganymede, because I don't know much about New Ganymede, so
gotcha.
We haven't seen the space side of it yet. So, but the other 3, I'm very excited about. Search for Animaria looks fine. If you got Sam Stratton, who's the #1 critic of crypto games, if you don't know if you've seen him commenting on Twitter, he actually had positive things to say about that game. I was like, whoa, Sam, what's going on? You're losing your edge. But yeah, it was. That looks fire. So.
Yeah, it was super fun, and that was an early beta that I played as well. So being able to say that an early beta was fun is not very often. So I'm looking forward to it. Star Atlas. Let's talk a little drama.
Well, I've been calling it for like almost since ever heard about it. It was like.
I was a bit surprised because I typically, I'll say this, Bryson is pretty good about picking and choosing what he puts content out about. Okay. In terms of, in terms of, having a good team behind it, having, the runway and stuff like that. I'll just say that. That's the only point I have to make about that. But when you have the guy in charge go on and onto YouTube and talk with Crypto Stash about all things Star Atlas, and then all of a sudden shots fired. I don't.
Yeah, that was like a really odd that interaction, wasn't it?
It was really cringe, honestly. I had a hard time watching it. And that's not because I'm a fan of Illuvium only. Like, I don't feel a bias towards anything, because I really wanted to listen to the guy, make some good points. And I feel like it was a schoolyard type call out,
This is I'm reasoning off analogy, which is not always the smartest thing to do. But if you think about it, the space fanatic, I can't remember his name, he built space games for 15 years, got $400 million investment, and started building Star Citizen 10 years ago, was it? And it's not even ready yet.
Yeah.
You've got one of the greatest games designers of all time at Bethesda Studios. What's his name? I forgot it again. I'm bad with names today. He built what's that called? Skyrim. That game.
Yeah.
His pet project was space thing. It's about to come out in September. Starfield, 7 years in development and hundreds of millions of dollars of resources, and the best devs in the world.
They had to get some help from Microsoft and all of that stuff. So it's no small pennies.
Just use some analogy, mate. The guy, he's ambitious. He's a finance dude, and he comes in. He's going to lead a project to something that's got more ambition than Star Citizen and Starfield, and incorporate blockchain. And you think you're going to be able to do that? Like, that's just what I was thinking. I get into interactions a lot more in the past than I do now about trying to make that point. Like, they're not going to be able to make this game.
You know what's funny though, too?
You just can't do that.
You know what's funny too is the fact that he was talking about going into space calls and having the debate with Karen and all this stuff, and then fast forward and says that, oh, that's what Karen did. That's what they did with Illuvium. They copied all my ideas and all of this stuff, acting as if like he was the inventor of said ideas. Not only was that a bad look.
No, it's terrible. It's not true either.
It's not. It really isn't. Then he goes on to say that Illuvium isn't even a blockchain game, that it doesn't utilize the blockchain very, very efficiently because it's not on-chain gaming. And I'd like to also point out that he says that Star Atlas is 100% on-chain gaming, and that's not true. So the gloves came off, and he starts spewing basically nonsense. And it's obvious to me that he's looking for attention.
Mate, I was a recruiter. Yeah, I've interviewed at least 5,000 people in my life, and you look at the reason why I used to say to people, you have to meet me face to face, is because 85% of communications is body language, and his facial expressions was just going, I'm lying to you. I'm sorry. That's what I've been doing it for years. He was absolutely lying about everything he said, pretty much, and I'm not scared to say it out loud.
He does this strange eye roll type thing when he leads into certain things.
When he's lying, maybe?
When he's lying about things, or he gets this shitty eating smirk on his face when he goes to on attack about Kieran or anything like that. It's because he knows that he has to tell himself he's being serious before he says it, and that's the fact. Like when I tell myself that, hey, you know, I really like Rubik, but I need to say something bad about him, I would probably make the same face because, like telling yourself that, hey, I'm gonna lie through my teeth right now. He's just not good at it, and that's something that, being a financial person, I figured he'd be a little bit better about lying. But
yeah,
who knows?
So if you just break it down. So, but from my point of view, I used to see that this is too ambitious, it's never going to come to fruition, and that all these people putting hopes on it, I never, you know, good luck to them. And that, but then that show come on with Kieran going on, and if you break what was, take the emotion out of it, Kieran just said, and he came from a pretty selfish point himself, like. His reason for calling him out was that you're sucking liquidity away from food, you know, from other game developers.
Exactly.
But he meant for himself because Kieran, you know, he's looking after himself. But ultimately, he did care about people as well, and he didn't articulate that very well though. And he said, all these people are spending. They sell $200 million worth of NFTs, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that's how they got the funding to be able to start this process and this game. And then their ambition's so huge. And now this is just an absolute, like, to get Stash on and just literally stroking it for him on thing, it just made me vomit, mate. Like you're just literally playing that, I need to protect my OG status and my ability to get into people's, you know, interview the big guys because, you know, like this guy's a bad actor. He's taken millions of dollars out of assets. He knows very well he was never going to be able to deliver this game. Like I could tell he wasn't going to be able to deliver it. He knows it himself. Yeah, or maybe he's like, maybe he just could convince himself that he could. But the ambition that he wanted to build, without any experience at all in building games, it's just out of this world. You know.
Yeah, and then also, you know, like you have just over 160 people working on the game, and then you realize that, hey, we can't pay these people anymore, and you know, under what is it, like 40? It's about 40 something people now to work on the game.
167 down to 42, and to build what they want to build, they probably need 500 staff, and they need them for 5-6 years.
Yeah,
so, yeah, they're not even 5% through that game. All these people thinking that this game's ever going to come. It's just sad. Like, there's a game getting made with proper developers, with the proper funding that don't gamble people's money, and have a playable demo out for the whole game in August called Space Nation. It's literally Star Atlas with a little bit less graphics, but it's going to get built, and you're going to be able to play the game. If you spend money on NFTs, you'll get to use them, and that's what Kieran said. You're taking away the IP. Not the IP, the interest in real builders, because you're not going to deliver what you said what you're promising these people, and he's not. I'll pay. Well, I'm not going to make any stupid promises publicly, but like, you know, just being facetious. Like, I will literally cut my left arm off if they ever deliver Star Atlas like the vision, like you originally said.
Yeah,
and it's a shame.
It's pretty. Yeah. It is a shame, and it's a good point, you know, like that pulling liquidity from people that are actually building, people that are actually going to be able to go through with stuff, you know, and you put this giant vision out there of doing something. It's great, all power to you, but once you get to that point of no return, yeah, you know. The event horizon, you know, he's making a space game. He should know these terms. Yeah. And it's sad to see, really.
And also, here's an example of, you know, maybe he did believe he could do it, and he's made a lot of mistakes on the way, which is probably true as well. One of them is that in the letter that they've built an SDK, the first SDK for Unreal Engine for Solana, made it open source. So the open source means he made no money out of it. And how many resources did he spend money on to build that? Like, that ties back to how I wanted to link it. Maybe he did make big mistakes, and and it's just come to realization that he's burning money and he's just not going to be able to deliver what he promised. But the disingenuous thing is saying they're still going to deliver that. That's where if he just said, I think this is like, it's a soft rug, it's a slow rug, like it's, we're still working on it, because he said in that interview with Stash, we're still working on the game on Star Atlas, and maybe they are, but I don't think they would. Honestly, if I was to bet, and we could find out the truth, I'd bet that they're not working on Star Atlas, the actual MMO, and nobody is at the moment.
Yeah, and I would have to say that, because if you know that you don't have the runway to get there, you don't have the people to get there, it just seems like you're spending money to spend money, and at least I would imagine a financial person would realize that and say, hey, it's not sustainable, we can't get there, we can't do this, and let's find a way to pivot. So I would imagine that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I just want to leave it with my clarity that I don't wish anyone to that, anything but ill. If you love Star Atlas, you want to keep following it, that's your choice. I'm just warning that I don't think the game's going to come out. I would love to see it come out. I'd love to be wrong, because it looks so awesome, and that's why Bryson probably got into it, because he loved the look of it and the idea and the ambition.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not on anyone, and that's the thing. It's not a they're following versus not following. Like, it's not a battle of like, hey, I told you so type thing. If they do find a way to make it, great. I don't see it happening at the level and the ambition that they have been pushing for. Now that they've had to make the choice to bring down the people working, the number of people working on the project, and I just don't see that in the long run, people aren't going to sit around and wait for it. If it takes that much longer, there's too many other games that are being made, that are coming out, that have the scope, have the vision, and continue to have the developers, like Starfield and everything that's coming out and stuff like that. So
Space Nation in for Immutable.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like in the letter it says that he didn't get, they didn't get weren't able to close any funding for this project, and there's rumors around that the only people getting money now for Web3 games are people that have got the actual right ingredients to get the job done. And so, Illuvium just got $10 million that secured their runway to get the game out, in time, because they were spending the money on the right areas, on building the right things that got people excited. First of all, the Battle Arena game, the simple Battle Arena with awesome graphics, but the game's pretty simple to make. You could build it in a year and a half if you just focus on that and went hardcore at it. But then they decided to tie it all in and make it bigger, and because they had the more funding, and they were able to go to a VC and say, this is our runway, this is what we need to get this is our roadmap, this is our execution history, and this is what we've focused on, and where our money's been spent, and this is what you'll get if you give us this money. And they got the money pretty quickly because they were able to show that they're able to deliver a product. And that's what the problem is going to be with the Star Atlas. I could see, without having any knowledge at all, that they're not going to be able to build this product ever. From day one, I knew that, and I've been saying it. I used to speak a lot more on Twitter about it and started to quiet down because their community is quite aggressive. They're still defending Star Atlas. If
I had that much money put into something, I'd be yelling at you too. So yeah, no, I feel you on that, and I mean, let's hope we're wrong. I mean, I'd like to be wrong on it. So.
I love someone to tell me in 3 years' time, shut the F up, quit your job, your side job, and I will. That's what I'll do. If Star Atlas ever comes out, I'll quit doing this.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I mean, I'll have my I'll say my piece about this next topic, and we'll move on. Momoguro, it's not looking great for him. You know, I had some hope that they would, you know, pivot and do something more spectacular than what they have been. There's really zero secondary sales for any of the momos that are being created from in-game. And it's interesting because, you know, they have such a strong team. And, you know, basically the game loop that they have right now, it's I wouldn't even call it a game. It's not a game.
No.
It's dress up. You basically dress up your hollow self, and you send it on a journey to try to accomplish a task, which the ability to accomplish the task is based off of the equipment you put on your character, and that gives you like a base power level, and your character needs a certain amount of power to be more effective in the journey. And you basically have zero input into the outcome of whether or not your character is successful in doing this journey, other than the items you put on your character, which have certain things like boosts if you use it for a certain type of there's items that you can use that will give you a boost in power if you use it for a specific adventure. So there's that type of thing.
Very simple.
It's very simple. Storyline is all right. They mentioned that you'll be making decisions. There's been a total of 3 decisions I've had to make. Zero outcome on really how the game is played. And really there's no music that I was hoping for.
That's my biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
Honestly. I was so pumped. I bloody bought into it because of the music, and when just before the game come out, that little clip they did, I'm like, awesome, they've really worked on the music.
Yeah.
And then there's no music in the game.
Yeah.
Look, this is. I'll let you carry on in a second, but my biggest gripe is that they sold this game as an RPG, and then they made the Roblox thing and associated it, and they never ever said that Roblox is nothing like the game.
Yeah.
But you kind of just associate it, you know what I mean? Because they said it's an RPG. So that's where they built hype off kind of not being completely honest. They made it like it's going to be an RPG. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like, everything else is okay. They're a bit disappointed with the music, like I just said, and the game's a bit simple. But lots of people love those little simple games. But if they just sold it that way, and said, hey, it's going to be a simple casual game at start, but we're working on the second phase, which is going to increase, be an expansion and going to change the game, which they have said there's something coming in Q4 that they're working on, but who knows what that is? They're not saying what it is.
Yeah, and is that going to be soon enough? Like, with what they've put out now,
it's behind that paywall that you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. That barrier to entry, for something that minted at 0.22, their floor is at 0.008. Last I looked.
Oof. Can you put that little in that meme
of
that Barcelona?
Oof-iter.
That,
like right there.
Is it Barcelona?
It's pretty bad.
Spain's coach, the oof-meter on the thing. Yeah. No, I'm just actually, I spoke to Alexandra, the marketing person, well before the game came out, before they announced IMX, and she's lovely, but she said she wants to come on the show here actually. So I'd have her on here if she wants to explain.
I'd love to have her on and talk about, like the vision from the team and how they expect to kind of turn it around and what the, long term, how they see this being a franchise, because this was a thing that they stated from the beginning, saying that, what they did about the studio and having all of this behind them to create something, right? And I get it. It takes some time to create these things. They
haven't said
I haven't seen it.
They haven't said that this is just the first phase of this game. This is the game to them. So
right.
I haven't seen them say anything differently.
Right. So again,
it's just like you could have these momos, like the perfect game for like merging NFTs, like burning, because everyone's making them unlimitedly for free, and they're just inflating like crazy.
And that's the thing. You buy these momos with a token in game that has no price, right? So there's no value to the token. So it's basically there's no reason to hold on to them. And so it basically, as soon as you get enough to open one of the Momo, like the geode type things, then basically you're doing that and seeing if you get a rare or anything like that, or a legendary or anything like that. But even if you do get that legendary, there's no secondary sales saying that, like showing that, hey, this has some value to it, because there was no reason for anyone to go out and seek these other momos for anything, right? So
they could have made a little map on the to control your Momo story. You get on the map and you choose which direction you go. Do you go towards the trees or do you go towards the water? And you get into another circle, and that circle has like a like a theme, like a five, like a paper rock scissors theme, and it could give you a rating of what you think you should be to get that, and then you should be able to do the same thing over and over again to power up your Momo or get more coins to be able to mint an NFT that gets you the power to take the next zone up. It's not PvP. You don't need to worry about pay to win in this kind of game. You're playing a single player.
Exactly.
You could have people that you need to merge something 100 times. So you got to play for years to get that 100 times to be able to beat one of those zones. Or you could go into the marketplace and buy 20 to match because you've got 80, and then you finally can spend. It might only be a couple of dollars each, maybe, or maybe even 30 cents each, but they're worth nothing at the moment because there's no need to do it.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. Introducing the momos that you add on to your hollow self with no mechanism as to how they're going to be utilized other than, hey, you open them, you can use them on your character or not. That's it.
Yeah. And having to redo them every single time. Oh my God, that's so painful.
It is very painful. Like I'd like to have, hey, this is my speed hollow self. This is my power hollow self. This is, like pre-designated so that.
Do that.
Yeah. True.
You don't even need to do that, do you? Like you just put the same members on and you put them on all the time and you go and you fight until you win. Like that's what I did when I played it. And they also could have it as a little like each Momo has got all those abilities on the cards. Like, are they going to bring it out that you can actually have a fight with someone and you use those abilities?
Yeah.
Or is that what they're going to do? Because that's what I thought they were going to do. When you see the abilities on the cards on the Momos,
correct.
You get like you don't even use them or do anything with them.
Yeah, I have not seen anything to where it makes any difference, right? So, sad to see right now. I'm looking forward to hopefully they have something in the works and we just haven't seen it yet. So would love to. I want to say something if they can.
I want to say something good about them as well. Like they've obviously got the capability to deliver amazing stories, amazing art, amazing, ideas of creativity behind them. Their development's team that they've hired, Little Massive, seem to be capable. Their blockchain integration had the initial stale problem, but ever since then it's been absolutely perfect. The interface is a little bit weak, so that's probably where there's a bit of work to be done on actually utilizing the memos. But so they've got the foundation. If they really wanted to invest some time and energy into make this game, a pretty simple merge, 6 months of development, and they could have a really fun little game on their hand that people are already bought into. There's lots of people that love collecting these memos. I've seen them on Twitter. You know?
Yeah.
Make it mean something though.
Exactly.
That's what they need to do.
Exactly. Take a page out of possibly Gary V's playbook and make them collectibles or something of the nature to where you need to have a certain collection of you gamify it, right? You have to have certain ones to be able to burn to get something else, or whatever. And that would be cool.
Yeah. Come on, Momoguro, you can do it.
You can do it. I think the last thing we have planned here is a little game we thought might be fun to play.
Yeah, let me try and find it. I should have had that up, shouldn't I?
It's the monthly active users.
A guessing game for monthly active users that we will guess what the peak monthly active users is for a game that comes out, and also that the founder that we interview will guess what they're going to say as well. So we forgot to ask Victor just then on it. So I'll send him a message to ask him. We'll update it later.
Yeah,
when we get it. But I did get one from Matt from Last Resort, and I am struggling to find it at the moment. So I will. Why don't you start off giving us your guess on Last Resort and Evermoon, and we'll leave House of Boxing for last.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Last Resort. I see a survival game that is both mobile and desktop. Could have a huge following. Also, the fact that you can play with your friends and actually trade items in game to where, like, hey, I need this weapon, or I need this item because I'm going to go on this journey, and you're not going to use it, so let me use that, and then I'll give you this type of item. Really cool idea. That way you can create like your own faction, and then like almost like your own clan, and then within the clan, you can have like a supply chest type thing, and everyone is able to take from that, and put back into it. I see that, having the potential to be pretty damn big. As well as with Evermoon, I feel like both of them have the capability of capturing large audiences.
Okay, so what are you guessing? 10 million plus monthly active users is legendary. 1 to 10 million is epic. 100k to 1 million is rare. 10k to 100k is uncommon, and less than 10k monthly active users is common. What are you guessing Last Resort will be?
I say rare.
Rare? 100 less than 1 million monthly active users for Last Resort.
Yeah.
Okay. And Evermoon?
I would have to put it in the rare as well. I feel that they have something with a MOBA. It's yet to see. I've yet to see where the pay to play comes in, but MOBA's interesting because if you get the formula right to where the proper characters are released and the balancing is correct, you can have a massive hit, but you can have a flop as well. So I don't want to put it too high on the board there.
Yeah. Well, I've got an unfair advantage. I get to hear what the founder said.
Exactly.
On last resort. So he actually went into quite detail. And Matt's kind of got a background in this kind of thing, so he really understands it and showed me graphs and everything. And his goal is 3 million monthly active users.
Wow.
He's aiming big for an epic game. Remember, monthly active users is usually 5 or 6 times more than daily. So, it's probably that's daily active users is what we usually go off.
True.
But I thought we'd do it as monthly because it is a reported stat, and it's a bigger number, so it makes it. In their peak, they could have, in their first month, they could have 200,000 players, and then a month, and then every month after that be 50. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, it counts if they're not actually, it's not regularly 200 million, so it's 200,000 or 3 million that he's counting. It's just the peak.
Right.
He actually talked about drop-off rates and everything. So yeah, I think after that chat, that was a private chat. I think Matt really knows what he's doing on that side, and he's pretty switched on. So I'm going to guess rare with you though. So it's I could be wrong, but they've got it's until the crypto game is dominating. Like that's a big bold guess in my mind. Oh, there's my dog going Burko at 1:30 in the morning. Evermoon, they didn't answer yet. I think they could go epic. I really do.
I'm hoping so as well.
It needs to be, otherwise it won't last. Because the 5 vs 5 queues and that.
Exactly.
So, but we'd have to be. So, we're about to have another guest on. So let's do one where we both predict before we hear what they think. So we're on the same footing field. So we're about to interview Joan from Etalast and House of Boxing, which is exciting. What do you think their monthly active user base will be?
This is an interesting one because I feel like it could be huge in certain months where they have big fights. Honestly, I want to put it in that rare category as well because from week to week, you might not have as big of fights to be putting your predictions in on. So it may, you may forget to go to the site because hey, there's no fight on this weekend or something. That could play a factor in it. But you have something big like Elon versus Zuckerberg, and you get to pick that fight. Now that would have everyone going there to pick the winner of that one.
Yep. Okay. Well, actually, I do have an advantage. I do know what he's going to say. I actually had a conversation with Joan, and I'm going to embarrass myself here and recorded the episode, but couldn't hear my voice on the playback. So we're going to do it again right in a second. Yeah. So Joan is a legend of a guy that's so forgiving, and we've completely botched 2 times we're supposed to meet with him, and now one of those times, the third time, I had recorded and it didn't work, and he's still willing to talk to us. So thank you, Joan. We'll let's start talking to him.
Yeah. So, what was your guess on that one?
I think it's going to go legendary. I really do.
Yeah. Honestly, I know that there's a huge boxing community, and I used to play.
There's 1 billion views, 490 million fans.
Yeah.
All they need to do is 1 month have a peak of 10 million to be legendary status.
It's true. So,
and it's not even.
It's doable.
2%.
It's doable
1-2%?
For sure. Yeah, and last night there was a big fight as well. And it takes it just takes something like that to say, hey, go over here, put in your predictions. You can win some money, and It's pretty cool.